Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vidam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsha Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurudmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namasreshtham Manumapi Chachiputram Matra Swarupam Rupam Tasya Agrajamurupurim Matarim Koshtavatim Radha Kundam Girivaramaho Radhika Madhavasham Prapto Yasya Pratidakupaya Shri Guruntam Natosmi Namaste Gurudevaya Sarvasiddhi Pradayine Sarvamangala Rupaya Sarvananda Vidhayine Yam Prabrajantam Anupetam Apeta Krityam Daipayano Virahata Tarajuhava Utreti Tanmayataya Taravo Vinedu Stam Sarvabhutardayam Manimana शीतहित हे भुवनैक बंधो हे कृष्ण हे चपल हे करुणैक सिंधो वृंदावनासीन हितावतार प्रसीद राधा प्रणय प्रचार त्रायस्व भो जगन्नाथ गुरो संसार वन्निनां दग्धं मां कालदष्टं च त्वामहं शरणं गताम् राधा सम्मुख संशक्तिं सखी संग निवासिनीं Amaham Satatam Vande Guru Rupam Param Sakhim. First of all, offer my millions of obeisances to lotus feet of Asmade Guru Pad Padma Nityala Prasthajat Guru Shishyamat Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Then we offer obeisances to lotus feet of Tirandi Sannyasi Shishyamat Bhakti Vedanta Dandi Maharaj, Nam Nishta Santa Shri Aniruddhas Prabhuji, all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis who are gathered here. Please accept my humble obeisances. So now we are resuming this particular chapter, chapter 15, page number 334, as you can see on the screen. And today I arrived to Hosur, which is in Tamil Nadu. And so it was an overnight journey and met some wonderful people on the train. So always good to travel. So Babaji is asking, is answering the question. My dear son, you have blessed me by asking such a question. The day that the Jiva first asked this question is the auspicious day. His good fortune arises. So basically, what is the question? The question is, why am I suffering? We should ask this question. Why I have to suffer? I am the part and parcel of Krishna. Mamai Mahamsha Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. So although I am a part and parcel of Krishna, I am a son of Krishna. Why am I suffering? So Krishna Bhuri Sei Jiva Anadi Bahirmukha Ateva Maya Tare Deya Sansarade Dukha. Krishna Bhuri Sei Jiva Anadi Bahirmukha. Having forgotten Krishna, the living entity is suffering. That is the answer. So here, my dear son, you have blessed me by asking such a question. The day that the Jiva first asked this question is the auspicious day, his good fortune arises. If you kindly hear the fifth shloka of Shamul, all your doubts will be dispelled. So what is the fifth shloka of the Shamul? Spullinga duddhagneri vachit anavo jivanichaya Hare surya saiva pruthagapitu tad ave tad veda vishaya Vashe mayayasya prakritipatir eveshwara iha Sa jivo mukto api prakriti vasha yogya swagunata. Dashamul 5. Just as many tiny sparks burst out from a blazing fire, so the innumerable jivas are like atomic spiritual particles in the rays of the spiritual sun Sri Hari. Though these jivas are not different from Sri Hari, they are also eternally different from him. So actually the jivas, they are actually non-different from Hari because they have no separate existence. If Hari doesn't exist, how can we exist? So we are really non-different. But then we are also eternally different from him because he is Vibhu Chaitanya and I am Anu Chaitanya. So that is the distinction. So he is Vibhu Chaitanya, I am Anu Chaitanya. The eternal difference between the Jiva and Ishvara is that Ishvara is the Lord and Master of Maya Shakti. So Maya Shakti cannot control Krishna. Maya Shakti cannot control Krishna, whereas the Jiva can fall under the control of Maya even in his liberated stage due to his constitutional nature. That is called Maya Shakti. Like today on the train, I got down from the station, I saw one Mataji sitting there. So Tamil Mataji. So she said, "Do you need any help?" I said, "All right, I'm okay. I can lift my luggage." And then she said, "I have a daughter. She has a type 1 diabetes." And I knew that this type 1 diabetes is type of autoimmune disorder, And then I talked to her through video call to her daughter, and she then sent me a message that my legs are excruciatingly hurting. She's only 15-year-old, very lean and thin. And because you see that this is actually Maya. This is means, what is Maya actually? This Maya is giving so much trouble to the living entities. This disease, that disease, some people are born with the type 1 diabetes, which I'd only heard of. I was not even aware. What you get by the type 2 diabetes is something you due to bad lifestyle, you get type 2 diabetes. But type 1 is something you are born with it. And then she's to be given insulin every day. So, this is actually idam sharinam parinam pitanam vatanti avashyam shadashanti karjanam. Kim aushadam pritsi mula durmate niramayam krishna rasayanam tava. And some of these diseases, they are actually called almost incurable by the modern medical sciences, like type 1 diabetes and some like this. So, but obviously, I told her that, why not chant the name of Krishna? Achyut Advaita Govinda Namocharana Bheshajat Vinashanti Sakala Roga Satyam Satyam Pravimite. That Achyutaya Nama, Anantaya Nama, Govindaya Nama. His name should be chanted. We surrender to Bhagwan or his pure devotee. And then many diseases, Bhagwan can control them. Although they are incurable, still Bhagwan can do even impossible possible, actually. What the Holy Name cannot do. Some relief will come. Definitely relief will come by chanting the name of Bhagwan. So when nothing works, the holy name of Krishna works. So therefore, it's the topmost medicine. So here we are seeing that Bhagwan never comes under the jurisdiction of Maya. Whereas Jiva can fall under the control of Maya. Even in his liberated stage, due to his constitutional nature. Even in liberated stage, Jiva can fall in Maya. So how powerful Maya is, you see that? This is an exceptional Siddhanta. And I would like to hear some Vedic evidence to support it. So Sri Mahaprabhu's statements are certainly Veda, but still people will bound to accept him, accept his teachings. Even the Upanishads can substantiate this principle. So here Rajana is telling that what Mahaprabhu is telling. What is this? What is this particular Dashamula? Dashamula is saying what? Gauravani. Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine. We pray to Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj that he preached Gauravani all over the world. What is this Gauravani? Gauravani is this Tattva. Bhakta Vishnu Parparakilam Amnaya Vidyam Ja Vishwam Satyam Bhedam Ja Jivan Haricharan Jisham Taratamyam Ja Tesham Moksham Vishram Vilagam Tadamala Bhajanam Tasya Hetum Pramanam. So, so basically what Madhvacharya told, the same knowledge Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, understand. And then the same knowledge Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given this Chaitanya Vani, Gauravani in this particular chapter of Jaiva Dharma. Jaiva Dharma is also Gauravani. But still, people want evidence from the Upanishads. So he's requesting to quote some Upanishads. Now, Babaji is telling this tattva is described in many places in the Vedas. I will cite a few of them. Basically, Vedas, they're actually the existing from time immemorial. So I was today hearing one lecture, and Shri Rajendra Ji Maharaj, he was telling that the Vedas existed even before the creation. And Lord Brahma, he studied the Veda. In Veda, he got the idea how to make the creation. So he wanted to create Indra. But how he got the idea to create Indra? Then Vedas say that Indra is Vajrhasta, one who carries the thunderbolt weapon in the hand is Indra. So based on that, he created Indra. Means the Vedas, they're actually the manual, manufacturing manual. And Brahma using that manual or guidelines to create the universe. So Veda existed even before Brahma and even before his creation. And Veda are eternal. So here, these Upanishads are also the Vedas. So Yathagne Shudra Viswalinga Vicharanti. Evam Evasmada Atmana Sarvani Bhutani Vicharanti. Innumerable jivas emanate from Parabrahma, just like tiny sparks from a fire. Innumerable jivas. Jivas are countless. Innumerable word means countless. Emanate from Parabrahma, just like tiny sparks from a fire. Actually, fire is consisting of sparks, but sparks are a little different from the fire. Because fire is homogeneous and the sparks are separated portions of the fire, as you can see. So, innumerable sparks come from the fire, like bonfire. In India, we have this Holi. Like day before Gaur Purnima in India, we remember that we used to collect logs of wood and then we used to set it on fire. And I think that festival, Holi, is celebrated in the remembrance of the pastime of Prahlad. Like Prahlad was placed on the lap of one demoness by the name Holika. And that Holika, she was actually had benediction from Lord Brahma that she will not be burned by any fire. And she kept Prahlad in the lap, and then that particular fire was ignited, and she sat in the middle of the fire. But she was burned to ashes. Nothing happened to Prahlad. So Krishna protected Prahlad from even the fire. So in remembrance of that particular pastime, I think we perform Holi Dahan, Holika Dahan. Means the festival to commemorate the burning of the ferocious demoness, the sister of Hiranyakashipu, who was immune to fire but nevertheless was burned by fire by the desire of Sri Krishna. Understand? So like that we have seen in Holy Day in India, when they burn the Holi, so many sparks come from that. I remember distinctly, vividly, my childhood. So like that, jivas are like sparks of fire. If Bhagavan is fire, then jivas are compared to the sparks. Tasya va etasya purushasya dve eva sthane bhavata idam cha paraloka sthanam cha sandhyam tritiyam swapna sthanam tasmin sandhe sthane stishtham ete ubhe sthane pashyati danam cha paraloka sthanam cha. There are two positions about which the jiva Purusha should inquire: the inanimate material world and the spiritual world. So we have to inquire about what is this material world, which is inanimate. Inanimate means the lack of consciousness. The jiva is actually having lacking consciousness, living in the world, dull material world. Bhumi rapo nalo vayu kham mano buddhirevacha ahankara ityam me vinna prakriti rashtara. This material world is made of five elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether, which is the inanimate material world. And then there is the spiritual world, which is Sachidanandamay. Sachidanandamay means full of knowledge, bliss, and eternity, which is the manifestation of Sandhini Shakti, and which is full of Ragini Shakti, Radharani, and Samvit Shakti, the knowledge potency of Krishna. The jiva is situated in a third position, which is a dream-like condition, Swapna Sthana, and is the juncture. So, So you see that the jiva is more like in a dream-like condition, and is juncture, tathastha between the other two. Means we are somewhere between the inanimate world, material world, and the spiritual world. And our condition is now let's try to understand this that the spiritual world they are awake, they are fully awake, and I think in the material world people are just sleeping. Material world is dull material world, so matter is generally just asleep because it is so dull. But the jivas are neither fully awake nor fully sleeping. They are something in between. They are dreaming. And you see, most of the time we are just dreaming. We are just dreaming. Oh, if I get some money, I will buy that laptop. I'll buy that new 5G phone. That is the dreams going on like this. Understand? So if I get this, then I will buy that piece of land. I'll buy a new house, or maybe I'll get married to that girl who I like this. So this is all called dreams. We are in the daydreaming. Sometimes we are daydreaming, and sometimes we are dreaming in the night. Dreams of the two types: Diva Swapna, Ratri Swapna. But these living entities are like in dreamless situation, and they are at the juncture, tatastha, between the other two. Means they are neither fully spiritual nor fully material. So being situated at the place where the two worlds meet, he sees both the inert world, Jagat, Jar Jagat, and the spiritual world. So you see, if you are now we have this uh, German wall. They broke the German wall because Germany, as we see, Ekadashi will know, that Germany was separated by a very long wall. And East Germany was communist philosophy, and the West Germany was following the capitalist philosophy. I'm not a very good historian or economist, but what I heard. So then they broke that wall of Germany, and then the East German brothers who had been separated from their siblings in the West Germany made an embrace each other, and there was a big scene. Now the Germany is one country. So like that. That is so like that. So those who are living on the wall, they are tatastha. And there is those who are living in the spiritual world and the material world. Understand? So we are neither fully matter, we are not stones, we are not water, we are not earth, fire, and we are spirit soul. But we are not pure like Hanuman or Prahlad or Bhishma. We are not pure like that. We are not qualified to live in the spiritual world yet. We are not qualified, and we don't even belong to the we don't even belong to the material world because we are spiritual by nature. So we are somewhere in the middle. So we are we are in the third position actually. So so basically we have the potential to become spiritual. We have the potential to become spiritual, but we are not pure yet. So we are living at the line of demarcation, no man's land, almost like that. And we should not stay in this place, no man's land, for a long time. So being being more like an airport, more like an airport. We are living at an airport because airport is like I was reading a story about a person. He lived at airport for a staggering maybe 20 or 30 years. He lived at the airport because the country he belonged to didn't allow him to stay there, and the country he wanted to enter didn't give him a visa, so he had to stay in airport, which is like Tatastha Shakti. He was shaving there, he was living in the toilet there, he was simply sitting in the chair for 20, 30 years. I said, oh, wait a minute. How can someone stay at the airport? So our condition also like that. We are neither in the spiritual world nor in the material world. We don't belong to the material world, we don't belong to the spiritual world. In Hindi they say, those who know Hindi, they'll know. धोबी का कुत्ता घर का ना घाट का. There is actually a washerman. He has a dog to look after the clothes, to protect the clothes, and to keep the donkeys together by barking. So that dog is a guard, is a bodyguard. But although the dog is doing a lot of hard work, but the dhobi's wife doesn't think that dog belongs to her. So she doesn't give chapatis. She doesn't give bread to the dog. And then sometimes the dog is going to the shore of the river where the washerman is washing the clothes, and sometimes it's coming to the home. But He doesn't really belong to anywhere. Means the washerman's wife doesn't feed him, and no one at the bathing hut or near the river also feed him. So he's somewhere in the middle. So our condition is like that. The dog or washerman. We neither belong to home, we nor belong to. Don't worry, Mahaprabhu is going to set that right. Very soon we are that Shakti, but we will transform into Swarup Shakti very soon by the mercy of Gurudev, Tulsi, and Vaishnavas. All right. So don't be hopeless. So being situated at the place where the two worlds meet, he sees both the inner world, Jad Jagat, and spiritual world. So that is the thing. Actually, we were given the glimpse of the spiritual world, and we are given the glimpse of the material world. But somehow God knows what happened. That in auspicious day we chose the inner world over the spiritual world. But we can look at both the worlds. Yesterday night I was on a train. I met one girl actually. She said night time. I was about 2 o'clock. She boarded with her grandmother. So I asked her, what's your name? She said, my name is Monisha. I said, what do you do? I said, I'm a fine artist. So I told her Shamrani Didi. I said, Shamrani Didi, she does such nice paintings and art that even our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, when he saw the pictures drawn by her, he was interested and he told his Hema Malini that who is this artist? Hema Malini is the MP of BJP. She's a devotee also. So he asked Hema Malini that, can I meet the artist who has drawn these pictures? Because Shamrani Didi had created a version of coffee table version of her art book. So Modi was gifted by that coffee table version of the art of Shamrani Didi by Hema Malini to Narendra Modi. So Narendra Modi was very interested in meeting Shamrani Didi, and special meeting was arranged by the intervention of Narendra Modi and by the intervention of Hema Malini and others. So anyways, so Srila Gurudev and Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj used to tell that Shamrani Didi's art is nothing but the spiritual world, window to the spiritual world. Understand? We cannot go to the spiritual world yet, as yet, but we can certainly, when we look at the paintings of Shamrani Didi, we are actually, looking through the windows to the spiritual world. We get some idea, the glimpse of the spiritual world, Seva Kunj, or her paintings, because they are based on the guidance of pure devotees who have come from there. Srila Gurudev, Srila Swami Maharaj, Srila Dandi Maharaj, Srila Anirudh Prabhuji, they are not ordinary persons, they have come from the spiritual world. So when they tell you something, they tell what they have seen there. Understand? So Guru Varga is like that. We should know that. So this shloka describes the marginal nature of Jewish. So we are marginal. Let's say marginalized. In English also they use that this particular party is marginalized. So this word marginal nature, we are on the margin. So again, it is said in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Now these Upanishads are very nice Upanishads. Lot of verses and Devadharma are quoted from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Yatha Maha Matsya. Maha means big. Matsya means fish. That much Sanskrit I certainly know. Ubhe Kule Kula. Now this Kula means shore. O Kule Mui. Diluti Lanjali. Means the woman also belongs to the woman wear dukul, right? Dukul means actually the cloth worn by the woman cover their chest. That is called dukul. It has two ends. So, but women they wear dukula. But the deeper meaning of the word dukula means the women belong to two families. Man belongs to only one family. From birth till death, man belongs to only one family. But women always belong to two families. Before marriage, they belong to the parents' family, and after marriage, they belong to the husband's family. So women always wear dukul. They are connected to two these things. So if a man becomes a devotee, he delivers his own family. But a woman becomes devotee, she delivers two families. That's why it's more important that women become Krishna conscious. And they are actually more Krishna conscious than men. So Ubhe Kule. Now there is a fish who sometimes goes to the left shore of the river and sometimes goes to the right shore. Sancharati. Sancharati means he travels. Purvan chaparan chaiva evayam purushetav ubhav antav anu sancharati sapnantan budhantam cha. Just as a large fish. Just as a large fish in a river sometimes goes to the eastern bank and sometimes to the western bank. So typically, rivers have sometimes very large fish, and sometimes, suppose the river is flowing from, say, north to south, right? North to south or south to north, either. Then it will have two banks, eastern bank and the western bank. Example of such a river is Ganges River. Ganges River flows from northern to south. It means starts from Himalayas and goes to south towards Bay of Bengal. And it has two banks, eastern bank and the western bank. And Jamuna is also like that. So the Jiva being situated in Karana Jala, the water of cause that lies between the causal water, as it's called, or water of cause, that lies between the inert and conscious worlds. And also gradually wanders to both banks, the place of dreaming and the place of wakefulness. Understand? So we are struggling between dreaming state and wakefulness state. Like me, I remember they always used to say, don't sleep during my classes. But many people tell me, Maharaj, we have sleep disorder. I cannot sleep in the night. I said, just turn on the tape of Harikatha, any Bhagavad spoken by Harikatha spoken by Gurudev, or Dandi Maharaj or Sri Rajendra Ji Maharaj, and you immediately fall asleep. Immediately, because Harikatha is so soothing. Today afternoon also, listening to Rajendra Maharaj Harikatha, I fell asleep. Immediately I fell asleep. So anyways, we are generally dreaming, and sometimes we are wakeful. But actually, when we are with a pure devotee, we are awake, really speaking, because what they speak is the spiritual world. And in spiritual world, everyone is awake. So, what is the Vedantic meaning of the word tatastha? Tatastha. The space between the ocean and the land is called tata, the shore. But the place that touches the ocean is actually nothing but land. So, where is the shore? The tata is the line of demarcation separating the ocean and the land. And it is so fine that it cannot be seen with the gross eyes. Now, you really, I mean, where the ocean ended, because you see, remember that we have a math actually. We have a math on the shore of the ocean that is called Jai Shri Damodar Gaudiya Math. Recently, they had deity installation there. Our Premanand Prabhuji, he actually sponsored, gave, I think he donated about 2 crores, 2.5 crores for installation of deities. So many our sannyasis, they install the deities there. So Srila Gurudev also erected the pastime of returning to Golok Vrindavan from there. So it is on the shore of the ocean. So I had a very good experience of that ocean. Every day I used to go to the ocean to take bath when I was living in Shri Damodar Gaudiya Math. And there you see that you don't know where the water has ended and where the land has begun, or where the land has ended and water has begun. But you see that there are crabs, small crabs are there, and the crabs, they're coming out of the water. Hundreds, thousands of crabs you can see sometimes. You might be afraid you might step on them. So you really don't know where the ocean has ended and where the land has begun, or where the land has ended, and that line is very, very fine. If you compare the transcendental realm to the earth, to the ocean, and the material world to the land. Now, here the analogy is the transcendental realm is compared to the ocean, and the material world to the land. Then Tata is the subtle line. Now, this line is called subtle line. It's not a gross line. It is a very subtle line. Subtle means something very difficult to grasp. It's called subtle. For example, I say there are gross limbs, right? We have hand, legs, mouth, and our genitals. These are gross limbs. But there is a subtle limb called mind. This mind cannot be seen, but there is a mind. There is a mind. Many scientists will believe the mind. but they don't see the mind, but it is a very subtle limb. Huh? That subtle line divides the two. The Jiva Shakti is situated at the place where the two meet. The Shakti is situated at the place where the two meet. The Jivas are like the countless atomic particles of light within the sun rays. So there are many atomic particles. Now there are the scientists. Super Dandi Maharaj also sometimes speaks about this. Yes, the genius he is. It always tells us that the scientists really don't know the exact nature of the exact nature of light. They say some people say, and some scientists say that it is particle nature, and some say that it is a wave nature. Either way, but they actually exactly they don't know. There are some scientists who say that the particle nature, the light has particle nature, and some say that it has wave nature. But here, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling that the jivas, or Srila Mahaprabhu is telling that the jivas are like the countless atomic particles of light within the sun rays. But being situated in the middle place, the jivas see the spiritual world on one side and the material universe created by Maya on the other side. So, like for example, if you go to Jai Shri Damodar Gaudiyamma, then you can see the land also, and you can see the ocean extending to the horizon, very long, very, very far, like that. Just as Bhagwan's spiritual Shakti on one side is unlimited, Maya Shakti on the other side is also very powerful. So Bhagwan's like ocean is very big. Actually, three-fourth of the ocean is the earth is nothing but three-fourth of the ocean. One-fourth is only, I think, the earth. So three-fourth of the earth is covered by water, and most of it is not habitable also. And land also is not habitable because there are valleys, there are mountains, and then there are deserts, and then cultivatable land, the land that can be cultivated. And only the topsoil can be cultivated. It means the land is like 4 feet, earth can be used for cultivation. The earth below 4 feet cannot be used for cultivation. But people are spoiling this earth also by pesticides and fertilizers, chemical fertilizers based on urea, which is nothing but uh, something like the bomb, right? Recently, they detonated a bomb in London, called World War II bomb, detonated actually. Caused so much damage, not in the house. Fortunately, no one died, but when the World War started, many bombs were unused. So they defused those bombs and they used the gunpowder in those bombs to make urea. So really put the urea in the land, it burns the land and actually it becomes uncultivable. Means it becomes useless after some time. Sugar also like that. Sugar, someone was telling me that when they wash the sugar, that water in which they wash the sugar to cleanse it, that water was thrown in the field and the field became completely, the soil was completely spoiled, and the farmer sued the sugar company and he got a lot of money from them. So actually very dangerous. So sugar actually is very harmful, full of chemicals. So if the chemicals which are used to wash sugar can destroy the land, what will happen to your stomach if you eat the sugar? So don't eat sugar, eat jaggery. Better, it's much better. Jivas are like the countless atomic particles of light within the sun rays, being situated in the middle place. The jivas see the spiritual world on one side and the material universe created by Maya on the other side. Just as Bhagwan, spiritual Shakti on one side is unlimited, Maya Shakti on the other side is also very powerful. So no need to say what is Maya is very, very powerful. Devi Esha Gunamai Mama Maya Duratya Mami Me Prapadyate Maya Midam Tadantite. So actually Maya you can see for male people, females are like Maya, for females, male are like Maya. Anything that we see as separated from Krishna, not meant for service of Krishna, then it is Maya. Actually, women are not Maya, or men are not Maya. But the conception that women are meant for my service, for my enjoyment, and men are meant for my service, my enjoyment, this conception is Maya. Men are not Maya, women are also not Maya. But the conception that I am the enjoyer of men and women, this is Maya. But everything is for service of Krishna. Understand? So this Maya is very powerful. She gives us this misconception that I am the enjoyer of everything I survey. I am the enjoyer of everything I see. And that is actually the problem. So the jivas are marginal by nature because they have manifested from Krishna's tatasa shakti, marginal potency. We are marginal because we are Krishna's tatasa shakti. Now Bajanath is asking the question, what is tatastha swabhav, marginal nature? Babaji, it is a nature that enables one to be situated between both worlds, to see both sides. Tatastha swabhav is the eligibility to come under the control of either of the shaktis. Like for example, I have also experienced, and you may also have experienced. Sometimes um, go to temple regularly, nearby temple, hear Hari Katha, or attend online classes. We chant very nicely. And sometimes, yesterday I met one mother on the train. Her elder brother actually is distributing prasad to the 1,000 persons in Vrindavan, and younger brother is brahmachari in Iswan Tirupati. So that Mataji has one son, one daughter. She is homeschooling them. So she told me that, Maharaj, sometimes our chanting is very good and sometimes it becomes very weak. So that is the only reason is that sadhu sangha. In lack of sadhu sangha, we lose the taste. And we have a lot of sadhu sangha, then our taste will increase. It all depends on sadhu sangha. Understand? So our swabha is like that. So we sometimes come under the control of Maya when we are not getting sadhu sangha. But when we are getting sadhu sangha, then we don't come under Maya so easily. Like Srila Gurudev, he was asked that how long we should hear Hari Katha, for how many days, how many years. So Srila Gurudev told very nice answer. That if the tree has become very big, then the tree will keep on drawing the water from the earth you don't have to irrigate that tree. You don't have to give water to the tree. But as long as it's a small plant, seedling, not so grown, then it has to be watered. In India, on the roadsides, they plant many trees. When the trees are small, they must be given water. But when the tree has grown very high, 20 feet, 40 feet, 60 feet, 100 feet, no need of water. The tree will survive on its own. So till we become very strong, we have to stay in the sadhu sangha because we have tatastha nature. We can be material, we can become full of surcharged by the material energy, and sometimes we can become surcharged by the spiritual energy. Like many people tell, Maharaj, I am affected by negative energy. Some people say I am affected by the positive energy. Like that. But when we become very strong, then negative forces cannot attack us. Sthane Rushikesh Tavah Prakritya Jagat Pravushyati Anurajyate Cha Akshams Vitani Disho Dravanti Sarve Namasanti Siddha Sangha. Or when we are chanting loudly Krishna's names, doing Nama Sankirtan, then the whole world becomes happy. And all the demons and evil forces, they run helter-skelter in all four directions. They don't come near a person who's chanting or doing kirtan loudly. So therefore, we always have to, because of our tatastha swabha, marginal nature, if you want the mercy of Swarup Shakti, then you have to take shelter of pure devotees of Krishna and their Nama Sankirtan. This is the only way to survive in Kali Yuga. So, sometimes the shore is submerged in the river because of erosion. Like this is going a lot in India, erosion. Because the rivers, they have plenty of sand, and so many houses are being constructed in India. So to get the sand, they are actually digging the river beds. In the summer season, the rivers are dry. At that time, they go by bullock carts and tractors and whatnot, and they keep on digging the sand and sand. And then all the rivers are getting eroded actually. Now there's a green tribunal of the one bench of Supreme Court, which is trying to stop the erosion of the rivers, but still stealthily and hand in glove, and the local authorities and sand mafia, they are hand in glove, so they are just causing more and more erosion of the soil in the river. But here Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling that sometimes the shore is submerged in the river because of the erosion, and then again it becomes one with the land because the river changes its course. Now we read in Navadip Dham Parikrama that how the Ganges also changes the course. So in that same way, the Jiva looks in the direction of Krishna, that is toward the spiritual world, he is influenced by Krishna. Hmm. So you see, simply you have to look at the spiritual world. Then you say, wait a minute, how can I look at the spiritual world? Do I have a telescope, or do I have binoculars, or do I have some any other way of looking at the spiritual world? Spiritual world is so far. Hmm. Spiritual world is so far. How can I look at the spiritual world? Hmm. That question may come in your mind. But here actually, so there, Param Gurudev says that if you want to look at the spiritual world, you have to hear Harikatha. Hmm. Um, you can see the spiritual world and Krishna through ears. Touch Shrunu. Shrunvatam Sukatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Yadjantastohi Avadrani. When you hear Harikatha, Bhagavad Katha, Bhagavad Gita Katha, then all your anarthas will go away. Yasyavishramayam Krishne Paramapurushe Bhakti Utpadate Pumsa Shoka Moha Bhayabha. If you even desire to hear Bhagavatam, even you have not already heard Bhagavatam, but you even want to hear Bhagavatam, if you desire to hear Bhagavatam, even before you desire, even before you actually hear Bhagavatam, Bhakti Devi will already come and sit in your heart. Bhagavat is so powerful. So, if you want to look at Krishna, then you have to hear Harikatha. That is the only way we can look at Krishna in the spiritual world. We cannot see the spiritual world by our naked eyes, but we can see the spiritual world by our ears. Ear is more powerful than the eyes. He is influenced by Krishna Shakti. He then enters the spiritual world and serves Bhagavan in his pure conscious spiritual form. However, if he looks towards Maya, he becomes opposed to Krishna and is incapacitated by Maya. So basically, we look at the Maya and then we become arrested by Maya. This is exactly, that's why we say, don't look at Maya. Don't look at Maya. Like, for example, Sober Rishi he was living in the water, and he was living in the water of the Jamuna, and he saw two male and female fish, and they were like having sex life. He looked at it, and then a desire came in his heart. If you look at something going on, then you looked at once, it is not your fault. But second time, don't look at it again. Otherwise, you will become like a Jahil. He saw a prostitute and a Shudra man embracing each other. Then he became attracted to that prostitute and wasted many years of his life. So we should not look at Maya. Rather, we should look at Krishna, remember Krishna. If you see something very bad, then you should sometimes just look at the sun. So that is actually called sun. Glancing at the sun. Don't look at sun for a long time because it might damage your eyes. So why look at the sun? Well, why not look at Krishna? Because Krishna is the source of millions of suns. If you look at the deity of Krishna, Radharani, or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or Gurudev also, Apadamuli Paryantam, Gurunam Akrutim Smarit, Tena Vignani Vashanti, Siddhantasya Manavata. You should always remember the deity form of the Gurudev, personal form of Gurudev from head to toe, from toe to head. And so that by that all your obstacles will vanish and all your desires will be fulfilled. Simply by remembering the pure and complete form of Gurudev, total form. Means you should not just remember the face of Gurudev. You are recommended to remember the feet and the waist, chest, hands, throat, mouth, everything. Lotus face of Gurudev, total. Akruti. Akruti means complete form of Gurudev, you should remember. The dual-faceted nature is called Tatastha Svabhav. Dual-faceted nature is called the Tatastha Svabhav, marginal nature. Now, that's actually like country like Nepal. Nepal is like this. Tatastha Shakti, we call it. There is India, there is China. Now, China and India, they are actually, they have a relationship from time immemorial. a long time relationship with China, cultural ties we have with China. But due to some political, the Cold War, India and China were not having such good trade relationships. Especially Gurudev gives this example. Sometimes there was a ban on the Chinese goods. So what the Indians wanted the Chinese goods like a radio set, transistor set, or something, or electronic item, they would go to Nepal because Nepal is a country which is having good relationships with both the countries, China and India. So like that. So Nepal is like Tatastha Shakti. So spiritual world, material world, and the marginal region, like that. So some crude example can be given. Spiritual topic cannot be expressed by the explained by the material example, but like Shaka Chandra. So no, the jiva is created solely from the Chit Shakti, spiritual potency. So we are actually spiritual. He can be defeated or covered by Maya because he is minute by nature and lacks spiritual power. But there is not even a cent of Maya in the jiva's existence. So now this is to be clearly understood. Like in India, the state of Bihar is notorious for what they call it kidnapping. You know what is that is the flourishing business now. These dubious persons, they kidnap someone's child. For example, suppose there is a very rich landlord or rich merchant or something, and they had a very nice child, son, 15 or 12-year-old, and he obviously is a rich person. He loves his son very much, and they just kidnap that son, and then they ask for some ransom. Ransom means you give 10 crore or 20 crores, others will kill your son. So basically, if Maya is dull, uh, and she has taken us hostage. This is called taking hostage or kidnapping. So Maya has kidnapped us. Means the son of a rich merchant doesn't belong to the crooks and dacoits and kidnappers. It doesn't belong to them. But right now, the son of a rich person is in the possession of physical custody of who? Kidnappers and antisocial elements. Right? But once, but if he calls the police, or if he remembers Hanuman or Krishna, maybe they will arrange Hanuman and Krishna or Gurudev. Then they can arrange him to be rescued. So like that. So right now the Maya, the kidnapper, has actually covered us totally, or has enshackled us or shackled us. But if you remember Gurudev Krishna, our Vaishnavas, then what will happen? We'll become free from the influence of this Maya, who has kidnapped us and covered us and has incarcerated us, means she has arrested, she imprisoned us. I heard from my teacher, now Brajanath is asking a question, nice name, Brajanath. I heard from my teacher that when a fraction of the conscious Brahma, the all-pervasive aspect of the absolute truth is covered by Maya, it becomes a jiva. He explained the sky to be always indivisible, but when a part of it is enclosed in a pot, it becomes a pot of sky. Similarly, the jiva is constitutionally Brahma, but when that Brahma is covered by Maya, the false ego of being a jiva develops. And in this, is this concept incorrect? This doctrine is only Mayavad. How can Maya touch Brahma? So basically, now let's look at Brajanath, what he's telling. This question, this is a typical question. I heard from my teacher. Now, this teacher is not necessarily a teacher of Bhakti school, but rather he comes to me like a Mayavadi school. When a fraction of the conscious Brahma, so fraction of a conscious Brahma, the Brahma Jyoti, all pervasive aspect of the absolute truth. So what is all pervasive aspect of the absolute truth? That is Brahma. Brahma is very subtle. Brahma is nothing but the light emanating from Krishna's body. This Brahma is all pervading. Everywhere this Brahma is there. Padyavali, the shloka comes, right? Sada sarvatraste nanu vivel madhyam tapadam तथाप्येकम स्तोकम नहीं भवतरो पत्रभ्यतः क्षणम जिह्वाग्रस्तम तो भगवान नाम निखिलम सफलम संसारम कशति कतरत से मनयो. Obviously, the impersonal Brahma is everywhere. But if someone will meditate on the impersonal Brahma, still his prarabdha karma will not be destroyed. What is prarabdha karma? Prarabdha karma is something that you are experiencing in this life. Suppose I give you 10 bags of rice and you start cooking 1 bag of rice and eating it. And 9 bags are in your storage. So those 9 bags of rice, they are actually a prarabdha karma, which you have to experience in the future lifetimes. And prarabdha karma is the 1 bag of rice you are consuming already. Right? So if you made it on the impersonal light or Brahma, your prarabdha karma will not be destroyed. Or prarabdha karma may be destroyed. Something that you have to experience in future lifetimes will be destroyed. But what you are already experiencing cannot be destroyed. Like for example, this girl which I met today, her mother I met and I talked to her through video call. So she is 15-year-old, Varshita, her name is Varshita, Tamil girl. She has type 1 diabetes and she is feeling pain. Now, what is that? Is God troubling her? It is not that. It is her prarabdha karma. Understand? What she is experiencing right now, type 1 diabetes, or someone is experiencing lupus, someone is experiencing, so many some disease like that from birth. Or someone is born blind. This is actually prarabdha karma. This prarabdha karma. But if that jiva was experiencing the prarabdha karma due to some past misdeeds, but now if he surrenders to Krishna, then especially chants the names of Sri Krishna, with surrender, with a sense of relationship, then that every single utterance of Krishna Nam will start destroying the prarabdha karma. And if that devotee can chant Shuddha Nam, then no prarabdha karma will remain. Obviously, some semblance of it may remain. For example, if you burn, in India, they make ropes from the coconut. The coconut has hair, right? So outside of the coconut fiber, they make nice ropes. And Kerala is very famous for making ropes. And these Kerala ropes, they actually use, they donate it to the Kerala choir board they call it. And they donate big ropes to Jagannath temple for Rath Yatra. So very thick ropes are used for pulling Jagannath cart. So like that. So that prarabdha karma will be burnt to ashes. Suppose you take a coconut rope, a rope made from coconut fiber, which is burnt, still the shape will remain like that. So when we chant the holy name, our prarabdha karma is burnt, but some semblance of it may remain. And suppose the snake has shed the skin in the forest, and that skin will appear like the snake, but the snake is gone, only the skin is there, but we'll be still scared because we are thinking snake is there. Actually, snake is gone, he has only shed the skin, like that. So prarabdha karma will be destroyed by Nam. Nam is so powerful. So he's telling that, Brajanath is telling that, I heard from my teacher that when a fraction of the conscious Brahma, the all-pervasive aspect of the Absolute Truth is covered by Maya, it becomes a Jiva. So, Brahma is covered by Maya, it becomes a Jiva. But actually, Brahma cannot be covered by Maya. This is a fallacious argument. Why? Because Brahma is unlimited. How can something unlimited be covered? Understand? So, what is unlimited in the material world? The sky is unlimited. If you look at the sky, unlimited. It's unlimited, no limit where the sky ends, actually, we cannot tell. So Brahma is also like sky, unlimited. It cannot be covered by anything because it has no dimension. Suppose I want some blanket. I'll tell my height is 6 feet, my width is maybe 1 feet, and I need a blanket which is like 2 feet and 7 feet or 8 feet. That blanket will completely cover me. But because I'm not unlimited, I may be tall, I may be chubby and fat, but I'm not unlimited. So you can give my dimension because I'm limited, but Brahma is not like that. Brahma is unlimited. How can it be covered by Maya? Understand? Something that is unlimited cannot be covered. You cannot go to a shop and tell me, give me a cloth which is infinite meter by infinite meter. They say, what is infinite? Tell me 10,000 meters, 20,000 meters, 30,000 meters, but you cannot give infinite cloth. So Brahma is unlimited. How can you create a cloth which will cover the Brahma? So how can Maya cover something that is unlimited? So he explained the sky to be always indivisible. But when a part of it is enclosed in a pot, it becomes a pot of sky. For example, here the sky is ether. Actually, there is a very subtle element, which is more subtle than air. That is called ether. Ether is everywhere. Ether is everywhere. Even where you see the earth, ether is inside the earth also. यथाकाश स्थितो नित्यम वायु सर्वत्र गो महान तथा सर्वाणि भूतानि मत्स्थानि त्रिपहारे. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna will tell that यथाकाशम स्थितो नित्यम. So the all pervading element, certain element is called ether or sky. So this sky cannot be divided. Means you cannot. We are different countries, right? America is a different country, Canada is a different country, Mexico is a different country, Cuba is a different country, but their sky is one. Means not US Army or Canadian Army or cannot divide the sky. Not possible for them. They cannot divide the earth, they cannot divide the sky also. So sky is indivisible. Understand? And everywhere the same sky is all pervading. But some sky or some ether is actually chemical term. Chemistry they use the term ether. I forgot the organic chemistry we had one chemical called ether, but that is not we are referring to here. We are referring to ether as sky. So sky can be sky is inside a pot also. Suppose I show you a pot and you say, "Oh, Maharaj, this pot is empty." Actually, it's not empty. It is actually having ether inside it, and air also may be there. But suppose I use a vacuum pump and take out the air inside the pot also. But I can have vacuum pump to draw out the air, but I don't have a pump to draw out the sky. Sky will still remain. So element that remains even when you remove the air from a place, that is called ether. Ether is so subtle, scientists have not created any machine to draw out the ether. They don't know about ether, they cannot deal with the ether. The scientists' brains, their bodies are perverted by the ether. The instruments they use for experimentation are perverted by ether. They cannot deal with the ether. But there is references to Sripad Dandi Maharaj told me about it. He was doing some research on Akashic field. It was so secret that he said, "Don't disclose it to anyone what I'm doing." But he was telling much about Akashic fields and all that. So, but when and Prabhupada also mentioned actually about Akashic fields, but it's a very confidential topic. So he explained the sky to be always indivisible, but when a part of it is enclosed in a pot, it becomes a pot of sky. Similarly, Jiva is transitioning to Brahma. But when the Brahma is covered by Maya, the false ego of being a Jiva develops. Is this conception correct? So Maya is covering us. This is Maya. This structure is only Maya. How can Maya touch Brahma? So Brahma cannot be touched. Brahma cannot be touched by Maya. Because Maya is material and Brahma is spiritual. So therefore spirit cannot touch matter. As much as the water and oil cannot touch each other, means they cannot mix each other, Maya cannot touch Brahma. The Mayavadis propose that Brahma has no potency. And the whole, now the Ram Navami will come, right? 30th, they had it on 30th. That is what Ravana was thinking. He was thinking that Ram has no potency. Why Ram needs a potency? His potency I will enjoy. So he kidnapped Sita. This is the Mayavadi's mission. They want to declare that Brahma is Nishakti, devoid of any potency. Potency and the potent cannot be separated. Shakti and Shaktiman cannot be separated. The Vedanta Sutra clearly states Shakti, Shakti, Mator, Aveda. There is no difference between the Shakti and Shaktiman. So how can Maya, which is potency, possibly approach Brahma? Conversely, if we accept the transcendental potency, Parashakti of Brahma, how can Maya, which is an insignificant Shakti, defeat the Shakti and create the Jiva from Brahma? So Brahma has a potency called Chit Shakti, Parashakti, but Maya is a lower Shakti. So how can Parashakti be defeated by lower Shakti? Not possible. Can Radharani be defeated by Durga? Durga is actually Bhayanga Shakti. Radharani is Amaranga Shakti. So Radharani is always more powerful because Radharani is the source of Durga. Uma Rama Satya Shachi Chandra Rukmani Radha Avatara Sabhi Amnaya Vani. So conversely, to accept the transcendental potency Parashakti of Brahma, how can Maya, which is an insignificant Shakti defeat the Chit Shakti and create the Jiva from Brahma. Moreover, how can Maya be assertive when she has no independent potency and will? Brahma is indivisible. How can such a Brahma be divided? Huh? So Maya how can Maya be assertive when she has no independent potency and will? Um, this is Brahma Samhita tells this. Brahma Samhita tells that Maya Dakshina Bhagavad Gita. Maya Dakshina Prakriti Suyate Sacharacha. Hetu Nanena Kaunte Jagat Viparivartate. That this creation takes place by my desire. Maya creates it, but she has no independent desire. When I desire, she creates as per my desire. And Sushti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Reka Chaya Vayasya Gunani Vivarti Durga. Ichhan Rupam Apiyasya Cheshta. The creation, maintenance, and annihilation of this material world is done by Durga. But she is not independent. She does it under the guidance and under the jurisdiction and presidency of Bhagwan. She does it by the desire and will of Bhagwan and by potency of Bhagwan. Understand? She is not independent. I is dependent on Krishna's will. Understand? So Brahma is indivisible. So how can such a Brahma be divided? So Brahma is indivisible. So sky is indivisible, so Brahma is also indivisible. The idea that Maya can act upon Brahma is not acceptable. Maya plays no role in the creation of the jivas. Maya has no role in the creation of the jivas. Admittedly, the jiva is only atomic. But even so, it is still superior as a tattva to Maya. So, an example, crude example can be given that a piece of gold, suppose we have one small grain of gold, and you may have maybe a godown full of steel, iron. So, basically, steel or iron is an inferior metal than gold. So, you cannot say that the entire godown full of steel is equivalent to one small sovereign or maybe one small ornament of gold. Gold, even 1 gram of gold is superior than millions and millions of tons of iron. Understand? Just like one pure devotee, one Mahabhagavat is not equal to 1 million Madhyamadhikaris or Karishtadhikaris. Understand? But the Uttamadhikari is always superior than them. So it is that Maya cannot cover Brahma. Understand? But Maya can cover the Jiva because Jiva is atomic. The idea that Maya can act upon Brahma is not acceptable. Maya plays no role in the creation of the Jivas. Admittedly, the Jiva is only atomic. So Jiva is not created by Maya. Jiva is Bhagavan's spiritual potency. Admittedly, the Jiva is only atomic, but even so, it is still superior to the Tattva as a Tattva to Maya. As a Tattva, Maya is very vast. Maya, Guna Maya, Jada Maya is very vast. If you see the universe, the image of the universe, 50 crore yonas, that is the diameter of the universe. So Maya is very big. And this is smallest of the Brahmandas. Brahmandas which are twice, 4 times, million times bigger than these Brahmandas. So really, Maya is very, very big. Jada Maya is very big. But still, in nature, Jiva is always superior to Maya. Because Jiva is like a piece of gold and Maya is like a huge mine of iron ore. Iron ore cannot be like gold. Understand? However big the iron ore may be, however vast the iron ore may be, but it cannot be gold. Understand? So gold standard is always superior. So we'll stop here today. Thank you so much for attending this online class. Hare Krishna. And if you have any comments or questions, you can ask either by personally or you can send me email, WhatsApp, Telegram. I can answer your questions. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dhanavad Prams. Thank you so much. Sorry Maharaj, what page did you stop at?
Actually, this page number is 337. 337. Page number 337, we stopped actually.
Sure. Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Dhanavad Params. Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Dhanavad. It's good that we conducted this class because we have audience from many time zones. It's an international class, so it is difficult. It's a very difficult to satisfy everyone, but still, we should not disturb anyone's work schedule or sleep. So this is the right time, 8 to 9. We will try to maintain that as much as possible. All right. Very good. Thank you for bringing that to my notice, because Hong Kong devotees, they have to go to work also. I'm not working anymore, but I have to also get up for Mangalarti. So, that is my work. That is my seva.
Okay.
Sorry,
And
Marge.
Same,
I,
but
I didn't think when you asked me yesterday, and I just told you sure. But then today, when I was calculating the time, I'm like, oh no,
yeah,
Krishna, we can't do this because
yeah,
it's
it's
too
not
late with the Hong Kong.
the best time to sleep is actually that is the deepest sleep you get is 9 to 11. 9 to 11. That 2 hours of sleep, if you take, it's a very strong sleep, and then it can rejuvenate you like anything. That is what the scientists say. 9 to 11. I know Shipad Dantiwal also. He goes to sleep 9 o'clock, and he gets up early, but he promptly sleeps at 9 o'clock. He's very regulated. I don't see him awake for great nights, because every single minute you stay awake, it depletes your energy by double. Because it's a big task, and it is actually very, very exerting and exhausting for the body to stay awake beyond its limits, biological limits. But because of this advent of electricity and tube light and bulbs and gadgets, we tend to stay awake beyond our normal times. Animals, you see, they just fall asleep. Animals stop eating also in the night time. They have very regulated schedule. Birds also. That's why they will live a long life and healthy life. Very less diseases. Animals have much less diseases than men. Understand? Because of their regulated lifestyle. Have eating habits also. For example, if the animal cows, we see that cows are sick, they don't just they just don't eat. If cow has a fracture, doesn't eat. So they know that if I eat now, then all the energy that is required for healing will go for digesting the food I have eaten. So cows, dogs, cats, they have seen in the nature, they just stop eating. Because any disease comes and you simply don't eat. Langana Paramaushatam. So when you just don't eat at all, what happens that all the energy can be used for healing. So like that. So that's why we have now very unregulated lives, and so many diseases are coming. Especially glancing at the mobile phone, tablets, computer screen for hours and hours together. Eyes which are meant to last for 100 years are not lasting even 50 years. So like that. So, but anyway, what can we do now? So that is the way it is. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare Krishna.
no. So if you can't eat nothing, at least you can drink water, isn't it?
Pardon?
You said you eat no food. Can you drink water?
Drink water when on Ramnavami.
Meaning, if you can't eat food to heal the body, water will be
Yes,
an effect.
actually, you can drink water when you are fasting, if you are thirsty. But also, many times fasting, even some people say that even water is also a big, big effort the body has to do to pass it through kidneys and get it out of the kidney. So to take in the water and then pass it through our digestive tract and to the kidneys and get it filtered out through as urine. That is also a lot of effort. Pranic Shakti is gone in that process of digesting water also. So a fast really means actually not even water. Then really you get the healing if you don't even take water. But obviously, it's very hot weather and then you are dehydrated, then better to do fasting with coconut water or water. But it's very healing. Like for example, there are some people who do Nirjala Ekadashi. Then there are some people who do Sajala Ekadashi. Sajala means with water. Some people do Safala Ekadashi, means with fruit. And then there are people who do with some cooked potatoes and all. So like that. But basically get a lot of healing through this. Because people are having cancer, then they use radiation therapy. Some people use the chemotherapy, but there is also immunotherapy. Immunotherapy means fasting. Autophagy is activated, and when autophagy is activated, then healing automatically takes place. So the cancer cells are killed, and cancer cells are recycled. Autophagy. So immunotherapy kicks off, and when immunotherapy kicks off, no disease can stay. So that's why in Ayurveda says, Langhanam Paramaushadam. Langhanam Paramaushadam means the best medicine is skipping meals. Haridas Thakur used to skip meals when he didn't finish his quota of chanting. Mahaprabhu brought him Jagannath Prasad. Then he said, I have not finished my chanting. I will skip my, even Prasad also. I said, I will not take till I finish my chanting. We should have that type of resolve that, oh, I will not take my breakfast till I finished my quota of rounds. Then obviously body will quickly want to chant the name because you're hungry, right? So there's some tricks to make you chant. I will not give my body prasad or water till I have not finished my quota of Harina. But if you give leniency to the body, oh, take water, take some juice, take some nice breakfast, salad, these, that, don't worry about rounds, then body will take advantage of that and will fall asleep. Understand? Then we cannot finish our rounds. Many acharyas, they did not, they punished the body. They used to hang their, people ask, why you have this ponytail? So they said, this is for hanging. Like if you are chanting and you fall asleep, then you hang it to the roof and just keep on chanting. If you fall asleep, then you'll get a jolt. And then again you will wake up and keep on chanting. Understand? So it is important that we attach to chanting. Chanting the holy name. Kaliyuga Baseka Naam Adhara Sumiri Sumiri Nara Baba Uttar Hi Para. In Kaliyuga there is no other way but the holy name. Harer Naam, Harer Naam, Harer Naamaiva Kevalam. Kalo Nasteva 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 Gatiranyatha. That's why we should keep on chanting. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. I have seen so many nice new faces like Kumar Prabhu and also Kamal. And obviously our German Didi, Gadeshi Didi, and all of you. South African Didi, Vishaka Didi, Mother, Anu Prabhu, Anang Mohan Prabhu, all are there. And also Hare Krishna and Ravati Didi is there. So I'm very happy that, I see such a large attendance from so many continents. I cannot travel to many continents now because of this corona and visa problems and ticket problems. But these electronic meetings are very good. We can communicate, we can discuss philosophy. I don't know whether in this lifetime I'll go to Germany or not, but I can still see Ekadashi Didi online. Understand? So very good. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Anchata Patruvesha Kripa Sindhu Saparitanam Bhavani. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. Sorry, there's a question in the comment box.
All right. Can you say something about what Prabhupada said on living in communist countries or ex-communist countries? Thank you, Maharaj. My mic not working. All right. So, communist countries. Basically, there was a book. There is a book actually of Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, and he talked about communism. Basically, what is communism? In layman's word, communism is nothing but working for the state, keeping the state in the center. And we do all the activities for the pleasure of the state, for the benefit of the state, keeping state at the center. So in communist country, what was happening, that heart surgeon or brain surgeon and a sweeper, they were giving the same salary. Everyone should be equal. So there was an artificial attempt to equate physical labor with the intellectual labor. Understand? So white collar and blue collar all should be equal. They should be paid equally. That was an experiment based on Marxist philosophy, Lenin philosophy, or whatever it is, communism. So Karl Marx and others. So their philosophy actually, and then its version in China. So, but that experiment somehow failed. Actually, Prabhupada explains that actually our Krishna consciousness movement is also communism. We are also communist, he said, but we are spiritual communist. In the sense that their object is to do everything for the benefit of the state. But our object in Krishna consciousness is to do everything for the benefit of Krishna. So we keep Krishna in the center. For example, suppose I make some collections. As a sannyasi, I get some donations. A brahmachari gets some donations. And there are some Matajis also living in a temple. There is also some Acharya is like that, like Shipadandi living in the temple. Understand? And there are some children also living in the temple. Everyone is working for Krishna. Right? I am collecting donations. They are not for my personal benefit. They should be for use for Krishna. Someone is like Uttam Prabhu is milking cows, but he will not drink the milk. He will not keep 2 liters in his room and drink himself, secretly. No, he will bring the whole bucket of milk and he will give it to the some devotee to boil it, and then that milk will be used to make offering and sweets for the deities. Then those sweets will also not be eaten by any one particular person, but they will be equally distributed to the devotees. Understand? So like that. So it means that everyone will have the same prasadam. Everyone will actually sit together and take prasadam. Sometimes not possible, but at least the quality of same prasadam. Not that someone will get very special prasad and someone will get the low class prasad. Not like that. Actually, prasad is obviously transcendental, but sometimes someone may have some biological needs that they need. They are having some disease. They are given some little different prasad like salads or raw food. Some devotees have become raw foodists now because of intense biological problems, physical problems. So that is different case. But generally, those who are healthy and hearty can take normal prasadam, rice, dal, chapati, sabji, which is quite healthy. Vegetarian prasad offered to Krishna with love and affection, and some milk also in that. Milk is called liquid religion. So basically, all the resources are used for Krishna's service. Coconuts which are produced on the farm, they can be harvested, and the coconut white can be used for making laddus for Thakurji, and they can be distributed for collection of sabji bhiksha. So basically, the whole thing is done for Krishna. Means we are cutting coconuts for Krishna. Milk of the cows is used for Krishna. The donations which come are for making the temple of Krishna. And all the servers of Krishna are also given the facilities so that they can serve Krishna better. So all our activities are geared towards Krishna. So there is inequality. In Krishna consciousness movement, you see equality. It doesn't matter. You may be the richest merchant, you may be Ambani, Adani, or Bill Gates, and you may be a very poor person living in the slums. When you come to the temple of Krishna consciousness, Gaudiya, then you will get same prasadam. All are given the same prasadam. Understand? Because prasadam is transcendental. Prasad, Anand, Jannat, Darshanat, Pratatvat. Not lot of people have faith in prasadam. They think, what is this they are given? No. Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnava Salpa Pundivatam Rajan Vishwaso nahi bachayati. People don't have faith in prasadam, the holy name, in Vaishnavas, in scriptures. No. We should develop the faith in the holy name. We should develop the faith in the holy name and Mahaprasad. Understand? So real communism means everyone should get the facility, equal facility. Communism's object was everyone should get the same level of treatment, health care. But obviously that is a failed experiment, because what happened in Russia and what happened in, Prabhupada says this, that what happened in Russia, what happened in East Germany, East Korea, what you see, you also see in Poland and so many other communist countries. And there are people, the goal of communism was basically to create an equality among the classes and to remove the gap, means haves and have-nots. But actually it created haves and have-nots anyways. There are some, even in communist countries, you will see that there are some people who are too rich and there are some people who are too poor. Those who belong to the Communist Party, they become very rich, and some people became very, very poor. Understand? So communism was a failed experiment, and to a certain degree Russia rejected it. Understand? And many countries rejected it. The Eastern Germany also failed finally. Understand? So basically nothing will work till we accept Krishna in the center. No philosophy. Capitalism, Leninism, Stalinism, or Marxism, or any variants of communism. No philosophy actually will work without Krishna in the center. That's why these philosophies are big failure. Now the whole world is looking towards Krishna consciousness. The only savior is Krishna consciousness. And Mahaprabhu's philosophy. The Mahaprabhu created what United Nations could never create. The equality of, you can see the screen of my Google Meet screen. And there are people from different genders, different countries, different nationalities, and different races. And they all are peacefully discussing Mahaprabhu's philosophy. Mahaprabhu created that the sense of unity, which is actually unheard of. Because Mahaprabhu told that Jivera Swarupa hai Krishna Nitya Das, Krishna Tatastha Shakti Veda Veda Prakash. That Jiva is a part and parcel of Krishna. He never discriminated. Everyone is part and parcel of Krishna. Is Krishna's marginal potency. Tatastha Krishna Tatastha Shakti Veda Veda Prakash. Veda Aveda is simultaneously one and different from Krishna. He is one with Krishna because he is dependent on Krishna. And he is also different from Krishna because Krishna is too big and we are too small. We are Anu and Krishna is Bruhat. He is Vibhu Chaitanya. So this is the thing. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. That was Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Any other comments or questions? Thank you. So, when one Prabhu is there, please give Jayadhani.
Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharva Giridhari Radha Vinod Vyari Ji ki Jai. Om Vishnu Parastota Rasha Shri Mad Bhakti Vedanta Vishnu Deity Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Om Vishnu Parastota Rasha Shri Mad Bhakti Vedanta Dandi Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nityalaya Pravishta Vishnu Parastota Rasha Shri Mad Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nityalaya Pravishta Vishnu Parastota Rasha Shri Mad Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nityalaya Pravishta Vishnu Parastota Rasha Shri Mad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj ki Jai. Nityalaya Pravishta Vishnu Parastota Rasha Shri Mad Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nityalaya Pravishta Vishnu Parastota Rasha Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki Jai. Nityalaya Pravishta Brahma Bhagavat Pravara Shri Gorkishore Das Babaji Maharaj ki Jai. Nityalaya Pravishta Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki Jai. Nityalaya Pravishta Vaisnava Sarvabhoma Shri Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Gauriya Vedanta Shri Baladev Vidya Bhushan ki Jai. Shri Vishnu Chakra Thakur ki Jai. Shri Narottam Srinivas Shyamananda Prabhu Tray ki Jai. Shri Krishna Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhat Raghunath Jeev Gopal Bhadas Raghunath Sat Goswami Prabhu ki Jai. Shri Swarup Damodar Ayara Mandade Shri Gaura Prasad Vrinda ki Jai. Namacharya Shri Das Thakur ki Jai. Prem Sakor Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasati Gaura Bhakti Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Antadvi Maya Simantadip Godrumadip Madhyadip Koladip Ritudip Janudvip Moda Drumdip Rudati Patmakashi Navadip Dham ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Go Govardhan Dvaris Vanat Makashi Rajmandal ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Shamukun Ganga Yamuna Tlasi Bhakti Devi ki Jai. Srimati Vrinda Devi ki Jai. Shri Purnamasi Yogamai ki Jai. Shri Gopishwar Mahadev ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan Chakrajiv ki Jai. Shri Shekhar Mandal ki Jai. Sarva Vigna Vinashkari Shri Nrsimhadev ki Jai. Bhakti Bhavasi Prahlad Maharaj ki Jai. Char Dham ki Jai. Char Sampradaya ki Jai. Char Acharya ki Jai. Akar Mataraj Chaitanya Math ki Jai. Shri Shikesh Ji Gaudiya Mad Utat Sakmat Sama ki Jai. Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Samakata Bhakti Vrinda ki Jai. Shintai Gaura Premnan Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Marge, for attending today and joining. Sripad Bhaktivedanta Vishnu Daivata Mj ki Jai. Thank you, dear devotees, for joining today as well. And please, dear devotees, do join us on Thursday with question and answer with Sripad Bhaktivedanta Dandi Maharaj. So if you do have any questions, please do send it through on the Amrita Bindu group and we will put it in the list and forward it through to Maharaj when we're having a Thursday class. Panchakapatulibhyasya kripasanlibhye vachapatitanam pavanibhyo vaishnavibhyo namo vaishnavibhyo Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you so much, dear devotees. Thank you so much, Maharaj, for attending. Hare Krishna.